Boris is better than his ministers. They do seem to be lacking in experience. And his freshly washed hair was the star, says Angela. Right. It hadn't changed colour. It was freshly washed. Perhaps that's the answer to what I was posing earlier. And Mark in Newbury says, look, I agree, Nigel. Get garden centres open. People can start painting their fences. And that might stop them being tempted to go outside. They'll stay at home. Well, all I can tell you is that the rest of this week is not going to be good for painting and outdoor DIY, because after 6 of the driest weeks we've ever had, the rain starts right across the country tomorrow. Let us go to Hexham in Northumberland and speak to Mark, who's a new caller. Mark, good evening.
How you doing? It's good to speak to you.
Good to speak to you. So, what did you think of Boris today? Quite perky in a way.
Well, yes, but, we don't need a cheerleader at this particular point. What we need is a leader. We need a leader to implement a staged regional opening of the economy and to get the test, trace, and isolate game figured out.
Yeah.
And once we've got that, we're going to be able to get rid of this shutdown. And as long as you got the trace, testing, and isolation capability, and this has been shown as the tried and true way to get through this problem. And South Korea and Germany are showing the way here. But, there is no question that we're going to have a second peak. The question is, how big is that peak going
Absolutely.
to be?
Absolutely. Mark, I agree with that. We're not going to stop this thing completely. How big is it going to be? And look, I'm not arguing for the end of lockdown completely. I'm arguing for an easing. But you're absolutely right. The only safe way we can do this and stop a second huge peak is testing, tracing, and isolating. It's the only way, Mark, isn't it?
Absolutely. And, the situation that we've got now is based, the 4 areas of harm that have been created to the people here and the economy here are all based on the government's policy. The COVID-19 situation was handled poorly. We got hospital deaths, care home deaths, and residence deaths that add up to, according to Whitty's numbers and other estimations, we're absolutely at 40,000 right now.
I think we're probably very close to that number, Mark. No, I do.
Absolutely.
I do. No, I do. Mark, so you were disappointed today?
Very much so. We hear too much of this repetitive stuff, and it's starting to backfire on them now. The whole stay at home and protect the NHS. People are dying all over the country because they're scared to go to the NHS. And
they're talking about...
When he said this about 2 or 3 weeks ago, he let the number slip of 5,000 extra deaths. I call them collateral damage that's happening because people are not going to get the care they need.
I know, and the irony, Mark, is we've got almost 40,000 empty hospital beds, although, to be fair...
We will make America great again.